Okay, so it's week 29 in the Barclays Premier League. Yeah, just 10 games left in the season. But before we get to my predictions for this week's end's clashes, let's just have a recap on the FA Cup sixth round ties, all 8 of them, and I'll just go through the results, and we'll have a quick look at the draw as well for the quarterfinals. Started off on Tuesday, Arsenal far too strong for Portsmouth at Fratton Park. They won the game by 2-0. Then we had that was a Monday night game. Tuesday's matches, Chelsea almost a full strength side really against Liverpool, who were stronger than they have been, but Klopp still had a number of the youngsters in. It wasn't enough. Chelsea inflicting the third defeat in the last 4 games for Liverpool. They beat Liverpool by 2-0. Now to Reading. Reading are at home to Sheffield United. High rise Sheffield United, and Sheffield United too strong for Reading really. Won this game against the Royals by 2-1. A really exciting game at the Hawthorns. Top of the Championship, West Brom were at home to Newcastle. Newcastle haven't been in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup for a long time, let's say. But they actually started brilliantly, and they took a 3-goal lead. But West Brom rallied, pulled it back. But Newcastle hung on for a great victory. 2 goals for Almiron. He's really coming good now. So they beat West Brom by 3-2. Then on to Wednesday's clashes. Spurs at home to Norwich. Norwich rallying tremendously here. Spurs took the lead, but they equalised. Went to extra time and eventually to penalties, and Krul was the hero. Norwich winning the shootout by 4-2. A very unsavoury incident involving Dyer and a member of the crowd behind the where the Spurs players sat. Don't know too much about it, but anyway, Mourinho's team are out. Norwich into the quarterfinals. Leicester narrowly beat Birmingham by 1-0. Their form is not looking good in this latter stages, but they were good enough to beat mid-table Championship side Birmingham. And then the holders, Manchester City, fresh off their cup success in the Carabao Cup, they went to Sheffield Wednesday and disposed of them relatively comfortably. They still had an extremely strong side, won the game by 2-0. And then last night's match with Wayne Rooney, the centre of attention, playing for Derby at home to Manchester United. Well, he didn't really have much of an impact. Man U had a great run of form over the last 4 to 5 weeks. Ran out comfortable winners by 3-0. Luke Shaw set the Red Devils on course for the win, and then a brace for Agallo. Fernando shining once again. Man U far too good for Derby County. They won the game by 3-0. So now let's get to the draw, and the quarter-final draw is as follows. Newcastle take on the holders Manchester City. Sheffield United are at home to Arsenal. And Leicester will play Chelsea. It's all Premier League quarter-final. Norwich are at home to Manchester United. So that's the draw for the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. Right, now let's get down to the prediction show here. The early kick-off on Saturday. Let's go through it. We've got 7 games on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and there's a Monday night match. So the opening salvo is at Anfield. Liverpool at home to Bournemouth. Well, I suppose one could say Liverpool have hit a crisis, losing 3 out of the last 4. I'm pretty convinced they'll get back on track, defeating Bournemouth, and I'm going for a 3-1 lead, 3-1 win, and they really need that, as they got Atletico Madrid in midweek in the second leg of the Champions League. Of course, they're already a goal down from the first leg. Then to the other Saturday matches, Arsenal are at home at West Ham. West Ham were really inspired last week, and Arsenal have hit a decent run of form as well, but I'm expecting this to be an exciting goal-scoring thriller. I'm going for a 2-2 draw. To Selhurst Park then, Crystal Palace are at home to Watford. Watford, of course, euphoric after that 3-0 win against Liverpool at Vicarage Road. I think they're going to be inspired, and Palace, who flattered to deceive a little bit, they look the real job, but then they seem to fluff their lines, particularly up front. I'm going for a Watford win here by 2-1. Bramall Lane, Sheffield United are home to bottom club Norwich. Sheffield United are just too tough in defence, and on their home patch I'm expecting them to take this game by 2-1. Down at St Mary's, an intriguing clash. Southampton at home to Newcastle. Both teams sort of up and down sort of form, really. I'm going for a Southampton to edge this one by 2-1. To Molineux, Saturday fixture, a rarity for them, but they're at home to Brighton. Wolves are on such a great run of late. I'm going for they beat Spurs last weekend in a 5-goal thriller. I'm expecting them to comfortably dispose of Brighton by 3-1. And the final match on Saturday is Burnley at home to Spurs. I don't know what to make of Spurs, really. They seem to have really suffered with being without their 2 strikers, Harry Kane and Son Min. They don't seem to have a great deal of confidence either. The goalkeeping position is less solid than it used to be, and defensively the 2 Belgians seem to be way past their best. Burnley, on the other hand, have come good recently. I'm taking this to be a 1-1 draw. Right, now Sunday's matches, there are 2 belters, and they involve, let's go, the first of them, Chelsea at home to Everton. Everton unfortunate not to have beat Manchester United last weekend. That disputed, disallowed VAR effort in the last minute. But they're looking much stronger under Ancelotti, and Calvert-Lewin is looking like an England centre-forward to me, ably supported by Richarlison, and Sigurdsson has come good as well. Chelsea, you praise them for a half, and then the other half they tend to falter. I don't think they're very strong defensively, and without Abraham they don't seem to have the firepower up front. I don't know what's happened to Pulisic. I haven't seen him for a while, and Pedro needs more games, and Willian, of course, is in contractual difficulties. So I'm going for a 2-2 draw at Stamford Bridge. Then it's the big match of the weekend, the Manchester Derby at Old Trafford, Manchester United versus Manchester City. City, 2 cup successes. Manchester United, though, a really impressive unbeaten run of, I think it goes back 9 games now. And I think they're going to beat City by the odd goal in 3. I'm going for a Manchester United win by 2-1. That would level them up for this calendar. So far, they played 3 games, and City have won 2 and United have won 1. So that would level the playing field. Manchester United to take the game by 2-1. And the Monday night match is the Midlands clash between Leicester and Aston Villa. expecting the Foxes to edge this one by 2-1. So that's my predictions for the weekend. Have a good weekend, and we'll be back with results probably, definitely Monday morning.